Ironic that I am the fill-in because I am not an athlete. Many of you have noticed that as you've seen my waistline expand multiple times throughout the year. To give you guys an idea of my athletic history, when I was a kid, I played soccer. One day at practice, I kicked the ball at the same time as another kid. I tripped, I hit a metal sprinkler, and I broke my collarbone. The only game my team won that year was the one I didn't play in. Jay got to play baseball at UCSB. When I played Little League, one day my coach told me to bunt. I went to bunt the ball, hit the bat, flew back and hit me in between the eyes. When I came to, they let me have first base, which is weird because technically I hit a foul. I did go and I did gymnastics for a while, had an accident on the high bar, which makes me still wonder whether or not Jessica and I will be able to have children. That's fun because then you also then fall from the high bar. I tried out for my middle school basketball team. I was the only kid cut on the first day because apparently you're not supposed to shoot like this. I did make my middle school volleyball team. In fact, the largest picture I've ever had in a school yearbook was me getting ready to serve, and the headline said, "Fun despite limited number of volleyball wins." And I was the poster child for a losing team. People think I'm making this up. We don't have the projector today, but if you want to see this up close, this is my 8th grade yearbook. That is me getting ready to serve, and the headline is "Fun despite limited number of volleyball wins. Preserved for all time," because I am not an athlete. I did, though, however, growing up, I was never thought I'd be a sports star, but a huge goal of mine was to be Batman. When I graduated from college, my mom created a scrapbook of me growing up with many, many photographs, and if you want to see them, they're up here on my laptop if you want to check them out later on. And my mom, going through the scrapbook and looking at all these pictures, said, "You wore a cape a lot as a child. Is there something you want to talk about?" And I didn't want to spoil my secret identity, so I said, "No, I just wanted my back to be warm." Batman to me was the attainable superhero. Everybody else was bit by some radioactive deal, or they were an alien from another planet, but Batman was a guy who just tried hard and went and did stuff. And for me, that was the superhero I wanted to go and be. I think it took place the day that I became a big brother. When my youngest sister was born, I have a cute little photo of that. My mom tells a story of sitting in the hospital and just knowing that we were there because she heard down the hallway this voice going, "My baby, my baby, my baby, where's my baby?" And I ran in, I got to hold my little sister, and I wasn't the littlest one anymore. There was someone I could care for. And my brother and I definitely cared for our younger sister, Jane. We have another sister, Mary, now. She's the one who's pregnant. My sister, Jane, benefited from having older brothers. My mom tells a story of one time going and running off and running some errands, and getting back from running errands, my dad was working in the yard, and my brother and I did the older brother's service of recording the Adam West version of Batman and rewinding and playing back the theme song over and over and over again. And so when my mom came home from the errands, she sat down and we're like, "Mom, look at this." And my sister went, "Nah, nah, nah, Batman." And my mom looked at this and went, "Really?" And cranked out the baby book and wrote, "My sister's first word is Batman." And that is completely and totally true. That is a real story. My sister's first word is Batman. I love this. I love this idea. In fact, there's a photograph here of my first day of school in 1st grade, wore a Batman t-shirt. Love the idea of being Batman, and it was something that was definitely a fabric of my being. But the sad thing for me, I think, is that as I entered into 1st grade and continued on in elementary school and junior high and high school, I think that this staleness began to set in. Because people start telling you can't be superheroes, these are fictional accounts, these are fictional things where you can't actually go and do that. I mean, while I do have a fancy mountain bike that I bought in junior high, the reason I had that money in savings is when I was in 1st grade, I saved up to build a bat cave. And when I was told I couldn't do that, I took the money I had saved up and I bought a mountain bike instead. And I think this sadly happens to far too many of us. It's like, you guys ever see this, Plato?
Yes.
Yeah, I view that leadership in life is like Plato, and I think what happens far too many of us, this is new Plato for the Kiwanis Club of San Diego, is that we go and whenever anyone opens up a thing in Plato, we do two things, one of which is we roll into a ball, and then we roll it into a hot dog, and once we've done these two elements, we begin to sculpt it into whatever it may be. And I think what happens to a lot of us, for some it's as early as elementary school, some it's in high school, some it's in college, some of it just happens in our daily work lives. Sometimes it's when we hit retirement, we say, "I'm done. Things are perfect." And if I were to go and say that this little bird's face, I speak for a living, I don't sculpt, was done, and I came back 2 or 3 days later from now, can I still play with this? Can I still play with this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be hard. It'd be dried up. It would stay within this. It would have dried out. So it's not really great Play-Doh deal. If I go and I stick it inside of this container, can I still play with it?
Yes.
Yeah, but right now it is as exciting as a can of soup. Donovan McNabb's mom is happy. Nobody else is. But instead, if we go and we crank out a little thing of Play-Doh and we work with it and we manipulate it and we interact with it, and maybe you go and I can meet someone who actually teaches art, and maybe I go and I interact with some people that have different colors than I do, then my art that I create becomes that much more beautiful because I work with it within my hands. I think that our experience in Kiwanis, our experience as leaders, is the same thing. The second we say this club is perfect, we have everything figured out, is the very moment we begin to dry up. If we take all of our love and all of the things that we love about this club, that we love about our service, that we love about leadership, and we keep it locked inside of this room, it is as exciting as a can of soup. But the more that we go and we work with our hands, and we interact with others, and we add colors so that we build this sort of rainbow in our lives, the more that we grow. Today, I'm going to violate a lot of the rules, I think, of a Kiwanis speaker. I want us to go back to a few of the basics, to roll the ball perhaps a bit. Some of the things we may do, you may have done before. It's a question you may have answered. But I just spent 2 days, I just spent 2 days with little kids and seeing the way that they interact within the world. And the sheer quantity of times I was challenged to do a thumb war with them because there was always a chance for them to succeed. Blew my mind. So today, I'm going to ask for you to find a few partners. I know, I'm going to actually, no, this is completely true. Yeah. Let's put this in the tidings and no one will ever come to a meeting where I present again. Yeah, so right now, you can sit back down again. I know some people are still eating, but I would like you to find a partner. It needs partnerships for those of you that haven't done it for all. It's 2 people, groups of 3 don't work. And we'll have a few of them differently. So initially, maybe you could go with someone just at your table. Someone may have to rise up and go to a different table so that we have some even pairs. So everyone find a partner really quickly. Find a partner. All right. And you'll sit next to them, so. All right, so someone needs to move around, and don't worry, you'll get another one. So if you're like, oh, this partner's this one's the dud, you know, that's all right. So
this is supposed to be 2.
Beautiful. Nice. You need to sit face to face. Your partner sit face to face. So sit face to face with your partner. Turn your chair, if you will.
God forbid people have to move.
I know, this is horrible. Torturous things. You thought finding was bad. Talk about talking with people. That's even worse. All right. Beautiful. Well, I did just spend a bunch of time with my cousin's kids, Jake and Michaela, and indeed, they did love some thumb war. So take your right hands out. Link your fingertips at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. I challenge you a thumb war. Ready to go.
1, 2, 3, 4. I challenge you to a thumb.
Jay's never played thumb war.
Time. Just in case there was a bias. Just in case there was a bias for hand usage, take out your left hands.
Wait, you have to explain what thumb war is. Some people don't know.
Left hands out. Link up those fingers. Link up your thumb war. 1, 2, 3, 4. I challenge you a thumb war. Ready to go. Left-handed.
2, 3, 4. I challenge you to a thumb.
Beautiful. Clap once. Clap twice. And once. And twice. People pay me to do this. This is amazing. Determine between you and your partner. Determine between you and your partner which one of you has been a member of this club longer. Which one of you has been a member of this club longer? Beautiful. Person who's been a member of this club longer, take your hands, cross them like this. Take your arms, cross them like this. Other person, reach out, grab those. 1, 2, 3, 4. I challenge you to double thumb war. Ready to go.
1, 2, 3, 4. I challenge you to a thumb war.
So here. You just go like this. Beautiful. And time. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. This is what happens when we run out of speakers. Yeah. I'm hoping that in one round of that you had some success. If you didn't, Tough. Person who's been a member of the club longer. I'm gonna let you go first. Person who's been a member of the club longer. You have 27 seconds. 27 seconds to share the following: your name, and response to this question. What have been some of your successes in the past year or two? You could do this professionally, something that's taken place in the workplace. You could do it maybe aspects of the club, some successes you've had as a member of this club that you've really enjoyed. You could do something maybe within your family that may work. But what have been some of your successes? You have, we're adults, I'll go a little bit, we'll have 33 seconds. 33 seconds, longer member only, one person only, 33 seconds, ready, go.
Successful. Oh, do I have to remember that? No successful.
And time. Other newer member or guest, it's your turn to share. 33 seconds. Again, your name, and then what have been some of your successes professionally, within your personal life, and or within this club? 33 seconds. Ready, go.
Okay. Yeah. Sucker. Oh, sucker. Yeah. Right. How did you get clubbed? Okay, so you didn't have
And time. I spend most of my time.
That's what's going on right now.
I spend so much of my time working with teens, and especially in the age of Twitter and Facebook, and Instagram is huge. They spend so much of their time seeing the successes of others. It's what dominates their newsfeed. And then they fail to oftentimes recognize their own successes. I think this is something that is also hitting us as adults. We hear someone share a happy dollar, and we go, well, that's them, but what about me? And we sometimes feel that we don't have the element to bring to the club. And we get ourselves stuck into a cycle of comparison of, are we good enough? I think if Batman had spent his time comparing himself to Superman, because Batman goes and says, I need to scale a building, so I build this, like gun thing that's got a cable, and it's going to go and it's going to pull me to the top. And Superman says, I hop. And Batman says, people are shooting bullets, so I'm going to go and I'm going to have to put a bat signal on my symbol on my outfit, and that'll be where the bulletproof part. And that's actually in the comics. That's the only part of his suit that's bulletproof. And Superman says, I can block bullets with my eyes. And Batman's like, I'm fighting Mr. Freeze, and so I have to create this heat wave gun type thing to go and contact this. And Superman says, I can pick up the sun. And yet, Metropolis needs Superman, Gotham desperately needs Batman, and San Diego desperately needs us for the unique contribution that we bring to the table. When Kiwanis was first formed, it was they wanted such a diversity of membership that oftentimes companies could only send one person to be a member of the club. And over time, that regulation has thankfully been sort of downplayed. And instead, we have the collective nature of all of us, of what we bring in from our own life stories, our own life experiences, the good and the bad, and how we can interact and bring that into each moment. I hope you enjoyed this partner. We're going to get new others, but before we go, I always like to celebrate the person we're with. So we did some thumbs up. The classic thumbs up character, we know him as the Fonz. So to celebrate your partner, I'm going to count to 3, and then you get to do what I'm about to do. You're going to go, hey, pleasure to meet you. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hey, pleasure to meet you. Beautiful. Hey, person who's been in the club longer, and this is where it gets really controversial. Person who's been in the club longer, you're going to stand up, and you're going to move, and you're going to find one of the people who have not moved, and you're going to sit down with them, and that's how we're going to get new partners. So one of you is moving, the other staying. If you don't have a partner, keep your hand in the air until someone sits down with you. We're seriously moving right now. Yeah, this is happening.
I'll deal with Susie. You deal with that.
Keep it in longer. Stand up.
Come over here.
What do we do?
Anybody still need a partner? You can say partners if you want. I know you're still eating, so that's fine.